Mythic Squad, the People's Guild. A passion for making monsters can't be killed. We breed the best pets, learn a lot, no regrets. Join us in creating excellence. Purple on our back, Mythic Squad on the chest. It's the Mythic Squad. It's Mythic Squad. It's time to wake the fuck up with Dragonfly, Starbuck, and the Mythic Squad. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Buongiorno.
Yeah, Starbuck.
Yes.
How are you?
Doing very well. How are you? What's new?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Very good.
Good.
I'm preparing for the tournament, Mythic Squad tournament, and my hero are very bad. Tomorrow, I think I will play the first and then go home. But I'm very happy to join, and it will be fun.
I'm looking forward to seeing the champions,
Yes.
So let's see. We've got good morning, Worm. Thanks for joining us today. Sounds like G missed yesterday's AMA, so he's in luck because I've just done this twice already. One of the biggest things, the AMA, very close to our heart. You just said it. The Mad Boar Hunt starts tomorrow. If you haven't had a chance to register yet, feel free to do that. I know we've got a lot of late entrants lately, which is great. We're happy to see it. And it's looking like it's going to be a lot of fun. The prize pool has, more than quadrupled in a very short time, with tons of heroes, not tons, but a lot of heroes, a lot of pets. And of course, we're the Mythic Squad, so we're going to do them right.
Workers.
Yeah, thanks. Well, that's coming in here too. Check this out. So we wanted to give a special shout out. Sir Worm, always been doing good things, and he's in the chat. He basically gets talked about as much as anybody else on the Mythic Squad. And if you hadn't had a chance yet, he's got great content. Shout out to Sir Worm for repping that Mythic Squad gear on his show this week. So he had that Mashad shirt. Mashad shirts. Last I checked, I think there was 25, but I think that number has really skyrocketed since then, or at least has bumped up. We've had a lot of people asking about submissions in our server, so I assume that they've gone on, but I'm sure Styx Intern is going to fill us in with all the entrants tomorrow. And the prize pool, like I said, is pretty sizable. Thanks for your donation as usual, Sir Worm. We appreciate you. Buonasera a tutti. You're gonna have to tell me what that means. Good morning, everyone.
It's a good evening, but you should write this way. Wait. Buonasera with the S, like this. Like this. So good evening and good morning, everyone.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Because for you, it's 4:00, huh?
Yes.
We saw the mock-up last night.
From all around the world. Sorry?
I was going to say, we saw the mock-up for this last night. I'm going to show Sir Worm, and he can tell me if he wants this one. So, boom, 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 boom. Let me see where this went. Here we go. Let's see if I'm not. Dun 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 dun. What do you think of that?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to ask
Silver.
her where. I think we're gonna do that one and give them the profit for it. All right, here we go. Or percentage, of course. We gotta get something for making it. Here we go. And Chettles, couldn't participate in the contest, and he's like, I want to donate to you, and he offered 50 Jewel. That's amazing from someone in the community, and we're so grateful for that. On top of that, during the AMA, Styx intern had a chance to take about 15 minutes of it, and he spent some time going over some of the details of the boar hunts. And Frisky Fox was enthusiastic about it, especially the rest of the team. And he offered to give 500 Jewel to anyone that was able to beat all 6 rounds. I think it was the prize pool, but we'll see. And then after that, Workhorse, not to be outdone, 501 Jewel if he were to get 50 retweets on this one. And within, I want to say 2 or 3 hours, he was up to 60 retweets. So that is 3 hours and 10 minutes to be exact, because that's 210 time stamped right there. So fantastic on that. So now that prize pool that was going to be, pretty good for something that you're entering for less than $2 was going to be about, $50 or something, or $30 or something. Now it's over 200 as far as I know in USD. So you could be making, spend $2, make 200. That's a pretty good return on investment, if you ask me, if you were to take it all. That's not including the fact that we have a treasure chest. And with whoever wins this gets first dibs in the treasure chest. And if you don't win, you're still going to be eligible for a consolation prize. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think we have to beat the first Visage to be eligible for the consolation prize, or it could be all members. I don't know. I gotta remember. I gotta read the FAQs, which you can find if you check out the Mythic Squad's Medium account, where we've got a lot about the boar hunts right now. But we've got a lot of things in the hopper. We've been saying for a long time that the Mythic Squad's always got projects in the mix, and we definitely do, including people that are going to be creating our articles, adding to the Medium. And, this is the year where we take everything that we've worked for and we see what we could do with it. And now, the community is starting to see that in action. The Champion Gi, you have to buy this. It almost has your name in it.
I have bought 2 of these. I was writing on Twitter that with this kind of visage, the heroes, the female heroes, look like the classic ones. You see the summoner, no, the new summoner, the female is big. With this, the Champion G. The summoner is wonderful, is amazing. So I posted it because I like to buy this, but I even would like to have my hero beautiful, even if I don't buy the visage. So I hope the graphic team and Second Best Dead and all the other listen to me, because I think we deserve our hero to be beautiful even without the visage. And I think the visage should be the plus, okay? Not the way to have the hero good looking.
Yeah. I think they're going to be like, if you can just put a visage on anything, like it's going to be tricky when you're playing someone and you think you're playing a wizard, then all of a sudden you get smashed with a big giant sword. But okay, let's see. Also the new chef hat, shout out Skiller, our resident chef. We also have Jeremy, a sous chef on the team, as well as me. I used to be a head chef of the Dash Point Lobster Shop in Washington. That was one of my first jobs. I told the story a little bit yesterday of how I got it. I showed up, I'll tell you real quick. I showed up in a suit, right, to become a dishwasher. And it just so happened that the chef that worked there too, his name was Justin, got hired at the same time. And my name's Justin. So I go there and I'm in a suit and they're like, okay, let's go. I take off my suit coat and they walk me to the broiler, and all of a sudden they're teaching me how to do the broiler, and I'm just not saying anything, like I'm learning how to cook, and I'm not doing dishes. And all of a sudden they're like, the dish guy didn't show up at like the end of the day, and I'm like, yeah, I did. You guys had me cooking. And they're like, you can cook really good. I was like, yeah, I told you in the interview. And they're like, well, crap, now we need a dish guy. So on day one, my very first job, I'm the broiler chef. Within weeks, the head chef got in trouble, and I was the head chef. And then for that year, I was the head chef of that restaurant until the end of the year when it was starting to impact my grades. And my parents were like, you can't work till 3 a.m. anymore, breaking down a bar and breaking down a restaurant. And I had to quit that job, which I'm actually thankful for in hindsight. Because at that point, I was thinking I'd stay in the restaurant industry my whole life, and I'll just tell you, that I didn't change my pay when they bumped me up from chef, from dish boy to chef. They gave me little bumps, but nothing like what it was like when I started getting in the workforce. So, anyways, I digress. I apologize.
How many of these will you buy?
The chef one, I'll buy at least 3. That's my minimum. When it's in-game stuff, I do a little differently. Like I compare it to assets. And what I do first is I take the 25 USD, compare it to what it is in jewel or crystal. And I think, would I spend this much on a skin if this was the price in crystal? And if in that moment, and if I'm like, yes, then I'll buy it. And if in that moment I'm like, no, then I'll just move on and forget about it. Next one, we got a new Mythic Squad Etsy release, and you guys know this is our short stream. I won't talk too much about it, but we have it in a lot of colors, available in black all the way through ice blue. This is our Skiller original. We showcased it last week when we had Pie Face on.
Love it.
And it's at our affordable price of $19.69, which is now the new floor of our shirts. Like we said that prices would rise eventually. They did. And then new Mythic Squad Etsy release for our pocket shirt. So I don't know if everyone can see that, but this is a pocket shirt. I guess it's more expensive to make the pocket, but hey, if people want it, they can get it. Oh, Worm, if you only knew. My goodness. Here we go. This is what I love, and I'm so proud of it. It's corny, but it worked. We were just testing out if we could actually do this. And, thanks to Six Intern and Dragonfly Tales, they took like an idea that was just simmering in my head and made it come real. And like my favorite thing about Six Intern is like, number one, he's intelligent. Everybody knows that. He's got a ton of enthusiasm. But number 3, and probably the biggest one for me, is he's so willing to jump into a project. He's so willing to like, instead of like, hey, I got this idea, you want to do it? He's like, yeah, you want to do that tomorrow? Like, yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. And all of a sudden, we wait a little bit, we finish this up, and after listening to it, the sound was wonky. And of course, we've got Dragonfly Tales on the team, like by far professional in his industry. We give it to him, and we give him this like mashed together video with a couple of stories for it, or with like, where we think the sounds should be. And you go ahead and blow it up, and you make something that, was like a good production, or an okay production is probably the most appropriate words, and you turn it into something that was like people were entertained with. And that's the power of sound. Like it changed the entire feeling of it. I think that eventually we're going to have a lot more of these. We're working on number 2 right now. The script is started, not finalized yet, but if you guys understand our humor, you're gonna like number 2 just as much, maybe even more, as number 1. And I want to give the theme of it so bad. It's like on the tip of my tongue, and I know it, and I know what the focus is of the next one because it's so funny. But I don't want to spoil it, so I'm gonna hold it.
and it's funny to see, you see the product and you say, okay, these are three crazy guys. No, we are three professional
I know, yeah.
men
We have
from
a music
different
producer,
sides
a
of the
corporate
world.
worker,
There is a
and a lawyer.
important profession, a
Yeah,
certain age.
I know, and I think I
And we
hope the
seriously
community, like,
involved in this.
understands.
I love this. I love this.
It's like we give our time, and, like, that's like, we don't have the biggest investment of money to give into stuff, but, like, we can give you our time, and hopefully people like what we can give you with time.
Yes, and the
Um,
sound will become better and better because the first version was taken from the voices have been recorded with a microphone, normal micro, and but the sound is like a soundtrack of a film, of a movie. Okay, I want to improve this, and I want the people hear and say, okay, it's a movie, no?
so
Even
do
if
I.
you don't
So do
watch it.
I.
Yes.
Big
And
time.
it's like a movie. For this, I prepared also an cinematic version of the Mythic Squad song, and from the next video will be the entire version. I will finish. And
Okay.
yes, let's go. I
We're
I
going I'll
I
add
can't wait
credits to the
the second.
on the next one so that with the credits, we'll have time to play it, even though there's not very many credits between the 3 of us, or 4 of us with Skiller, who helped me with the graphics. Alright, here we go. They did such a good job on that. Anyways, also, Making Monsters kicked off. I mean, I've been waiting for this for, like, I feel like forever. But finally, last Tuesday, Mosh and Ogre stepped into the ring and made it a real thing. We're looking forward to that actually getting to, like, the meat and potatoes of it next week. And they're going to teach you how to make these awesome traits. You know, the Mythic Squad has its own style of doing heroes, and even our styles of creating these monsters vary between myself, Mosh, you know, Be Easy, Skiller. We all have little nuances to the way that we like to do things. And you're going to get to see one of the best monster makers in the business do his thing with Ogre, and hopefully Ogre is going to join that list of monster makers pretty soon. The crown's not there yet, Ogre, but hopefully, if you learn from the master, you should be wearing a crown too. And of course, we're here right now. Time to wake the up, and we will be live with Luca Damen Engine at
Yes.
7:30, which is in 5 minutes, aka 4:25 currently in Italy. And of course, we got a new bullisher, so we're gonna have Styx intern, who wrapped up the AMA for DFK, bullish us today when that's time. Last couple updates though, like I said, you've got until the end of day today, Pacific time, I should say, to sign up for the boar hunts. There was some talk about the buns in the castle. Maybe that was something to throw us off. But from the latest Easter event, we've had buns overrunning the castle, and that King Bun or whatever his name is sitting on the throne. My inclination is like, why mention that? If version 2 wasn't going to have something to do with the bunnies, unless it's just meant to throw us off. My inclination is still that it's going to be potatoes. Could be wrong, but, like, how funny would that be? You battle a potato. That's very difficult. And I feel like that's the kind of humor that they'd have on the team, but who knows? It could be anything. Could be a Drake, could be something special, or a monster, or could be even another hero. That would be cool to me if you had to fight heroes that aren't out yet with your basic class and you had to beat them. I just think that would be so cool. I mean, it'd be so forward thinking. I don't think that might be too advanced for the team, so who knows. Next slight. Next, time, slow, and haste are added, which push us towards the seer as being the number one hero that's coming out. There was some peeks into the framework that was released, in which the information for seer and berserker were included in there. So naturally, as being the first 2 classes that were released, I believe, or number 1 and very early on 1, I'm anticipating that we're going to see Seer and Berserker make an appearance pretty soon. And then the last thing was so duels, perpetual seasons are coming. We're almost there. Frisky Fox is working on the last bits of it before they go into texting. So we'll see the next season of duels coming soon. But moving forward, there'll be less downtime between seasons. And currently, there'll be less downtime between seasons. And when the seasons are done right now, eventually there'll be no downtime between the seasons. There you go. Couldn't figure out what I was trying to say. And once a season ends, another season will begin eventually. For now, we're going to have shorter and shorter downtime between seasons. The next one's anticipated to come out 2 to 4 weeks. I agree with that. And if you're looking to get tickets right now, don't forget to check out Adventure Arcade. For a quarter, you can get some tickets. Obviously, you play for a quarter and then you wager your crystal. And it's a good way to rack up tickets when other people are sleeping, and waiting on Duel Season 2. Last thing that we have on here is potions. As BYOP comes out, bring your own potions. Potion weight is going to start to play a part. There's a travel budget for weight, so you're going to have to be able to, identify how much you want to bring with you. But there's a battle budget, and I think the battle budget is what we're going to get to pretty soon. So make sure that you're keeping up, or make sure that you're stacking up on those potions now. If you're someone that's using them frequently in the hunts, there's a good chance that you're going to be someone who's going to be needing them when you go into PvP. And, not financial advice, of course. Go ahead and check out that banner at the bottom of the screen. But I don't anticipate that they'll be getting any cheaper as the use case rises. And obviously, you do you. If you think that they're going to be cheaper, affordable, or because of the mats that you're accumulating, you're going to be able to create what you want, by all means, do what you want. But I know right now some of them are dirt cheap. And we've got people in the community who literally have already stacked thousands of them. With that, right on time, we're going to end today, and we will see you guys soon in Italian. Don't forget, Boar Hunts is this weekend, kicks off tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific, but you can still sign up today. If you're looking for that sign-up sheet, check out in the chat. It's this comment here. You can also check out the Mythic Squad's Medium for the enrollment information, as well as the FAQs, or come to the Mythic Squad server and check our pinned tweets. The information is literally all over there. And if you look at the history in general for the Mythic Squad, it's like, okay, what's the 0x? What's the 0x? What's the 0x? The 0x is all over the place. But all right, thanks you for your time. We appreciate you. Keep it mythic,
and we'll see you next week. Arrivederci and ciao.
Give us a good bullish to wrap this up. Yeah, well, I thank you all once again for having Mythic Squad up here to talk about this tournament, and thank you all once again for doing these weekly AMAs, sharing all the information about what you're building, taking feedback from the community. Gosh, you guys make me so bullish!
Bullish.
Bullish!
Bullish.